With the Division 2 Warlords of New York expansion and Title Update 8, a lot is going to be changing for players, and all of it is good. All players will have gear score 515 to chase, and a Warlords owner will have level 40 to hit, which you should by completing the 5 main missions and the 8 side story missions. Those are the basics, but there are some major things you need to know, and I've poured over all the details released and realized that there's a ton of great information that I had not yet seen broken down by order of importance. Today, I'm going to take you through the most impactful changes, focusing on the most impactful bits first. Let's get into it. Number 1, talent and attribute storage. By far the most important change is going to be the new gear bench that lets you store talents and attributes in a library-like system. Find a new gun or piece of armor in the wild, it will clearly tell you how good of a role it has and how it compares to the role you have saved. Once you've locked it in at the recalibration station, you can then apply that to new armor or weapons you acquire forever, making the chase for God rolls clearer, and it eliminates the need to hoard too many things, resulting in bloated storage. The game just tells you if a gun's good or if it's trash. The Ubisoft website also says that talents, stats, core stats, and mod slots will be recalibratable, but you can only do it once per item. The best part? This is available to all players of Division 2. Number 2, Infinite Leveling. The new shade leveling system will allow you to keep increasing your powers once you hit level 40. Instead of field proficiency caches for leveling up, you'll now get shade points that you can put into core abilities. These include offense, defense, utility, and miscellaneous weapon improvements. Those 4 categories do have a cap, so you don't become too godly. However, the 5th category, scavenging, will continue to reward you with crafting materials and credits no matter how high you level with this system. Offense increases weapon and headshot damage, critical hit damage, and critical hit chance. Defense increases armor, health, explosive resistance, and hazard protection. Utility covers skill damage, haste, duration, and repair. And the miscellaneous category covers accuracy, stability, reload speed, and ammo capacity. Your shade levels will get cooler looking over time, letting other players know just how much of a Division 2 no-lifer you really are. Massive also teased that there will be a different use for shade tech that wasn't revealed yet. Big yellow crates in your safe house that give you really good loot. Number 3, the season system. A season pass that will allow you to earn loot which starts at level 40. Seasons will allow you to snag a new skill mod and unique seasonal gear and cosmetics as you level. Seasonal activities will include manhunt targets, reimagined global events, leagues, apparel, and season events. There are 100 levels in each season pass. The second Warlords drops, there will be a new target to chase separate from the main campaign, and a new one will be introduced every 3 weeks. You will get this loot even if you don't pay anything, but you'll get extra on the premium pack. Drops are still RNG based on both paths though. This is part of Warlords only. Number 4, the Dark Zone is going to be much closer to how it was in Division 1. An important distinction is that signature weapons and ammo will not be allowed in this space. At least that should level things out a bit. Described as being for the wolves, not for the sheep, Ubisoft says this will become a place for players who are ready to take on the challenge of another player and no longer make it a space that appeals to everyone. That sounds great to me. You'll only get XP at extractions now, but you can still get XP for helping with a revive or protecting an extraction at one of the 2 extraction zones, which yes, have ammo reload stations. Voice is open by default again, but you can turn it off, and the social menu shows players within 100 meters, allowing for easy grief reporting in the 12-player space. The rules are the same. There are no more occupied or normal zones. You either go rogue and have a target on your back, or you don't. And the new 300 millisecond activation time for going rogue will make it easier for your opponent to respond once you flip to the dark side. Number 5, some new exotics and gear described sound amazing. Ever wanted an LMG that never needs to be reloaded? Then look for the Bullet King, a gold LMG and a Division 1 nod. The talent on this gun is called Bullet Hell, and while it does not need to be reloaded every 100 hits, you'll also replenish everyone else's ammo. The attachment is called Mag of Holding. Lady Death, meanwhile, is a spiky knuckled SMG that gives you a talent stat called Breed Free that builds up as you sprint and consumes while shooting. Get a kill? Well, then you get a brief speed boost to keep the chain going. Those are just a few examples of the 10 new exotics expected. The old exotics can still be earned, and they'll fit into that new gear style after level 40. Other cool gear that was talked about included the Gunslinger Dodge City for your pistol that amplifies damage of the first shot of your pistol by 100%, and that stacks up to 10 times, meaning you can get a 1,000 damage increase. With a sidearm swap increase in speed, that could mean big things for Dark Zone players. Another holster mention will light people near you on fire. In total, there are 10 new exotics, 4 new brands, 19 new named weapons, and 2 new gear sets. And Ubisoft claims you'll always loot a gear piece that complements your set and playstyle. Number 6, global difficulties and directives. These two things sort of work in tandem. You can crank up your global difficulty to heroic, making the open world and missions tougher, which also increases your XP gains for the season pass. Control points will stay yours this time around, making for a peaceful world unless you decide to reset it or amp up the difficulty, of course, which would reset everything. Directives are sort of like skulls in Halo. They can be applied to main missions, side missions, and open world activities to give more XP on the season pass. And by the way, all this juicy XP filters back into your season pass. So you can choose to activate up to all 5, and they include ammo hoarders, which means you start with less ammo and lose rounds when reloading. Enemies also don't drop ammo, and it's not showing on the mini-map. Cool skills, which means you can only use one skill at a time. The other goes into cooldown. Fog of War, which takes away your mini-map and incoming damage indicators. No regen, which takes away your armor regeneration, requiring you to instead use armor packs, and special ammo, which will give all enemies a little boost in the ammo department. Number 7, legendary difficulty is an addition to all of this, and it's a new challenge you can take on for Roosevelt Island, Capitol Building, and the District Union Arena strongholds at level 40. Within, you'll find an all-new version of Black Tusk fighters with new AI and surprises that make them feel different each time. Many people thought this meant hunters, and well, yes, they will be there. Ubisoft says there's still another surprise you should expect. On the AI front, the enemies will have faster cooldowns and use smarter tactics. For example, the tank will swap out his heals on his back and replace it with a wasp while rushing you. Keep your distance. You'll be rewarded with better gear on Legendary and guaranteed median to good and possible God tier rewards. Ubisoft knows full well this challenge is for about 1% of the player base, and they're okay with that. Thankfully, you can do this solo or in a group. Number 8, story and abilities. These are tied together, but let's get through them real quick. Here's the TLDR version. Some dick invaded New York with 4 of his homies. Kill him and his homies to unlock some new abilities. This will take place over 5 main story missions, but you'll need to track the new bosses during the 8 side missions, which will tie everything together, meaning you're playing a total of 13 missions. You should hit 40 by doing this, and once you clear the campaign, you can return to DC, but once you're here, you're stuck here until you do clear that campaign. If you want to just hop right in with Warlords, you can start a level 30 character and begin your chase on day 1. On the ability front, you can get an electric trap that stuns enemies, a decoy that distracts them, and a sticky bomb is back in 2 flavors, EMP and explosive. You'll unlock these as you kill those 4 baddies. Enemies who have also been reworked include Cleaners, Rikers, and the LMB. Number 9, skill tiers are replacing skill power, and there is 1 skill tier per gear slot. There was also a teased Bloodlust-like ability, and that's the overcharge mechanic. You can pair this with exotic talents and increase the effectiveness of a skill for a short time. Basically, the higher you amp up the skill tier with your armor pieces, the better your bonus is on your weapon up to that tier 7 overcharge level. They teased a 400% increase. That is insane. Final note, the new raid hits this spring, and it's available to everyone. Even if you pass on Warlords of New York, you can still play the new raid in its level 30 version. It's free if you own the game, period. When you wrap it all up, there is Title Update 8, which gives all players Gears 2.0, recalibration, skill tiers, and Dark Zone changes. Warlords of New York players get a new story, new location, new abilities, seasons, and level 40 to chase, amongst other things. If you have Division 2, Warlords is $30 now, or if you don't own the game at all, everything is about $40 unless you find some good deals like those I outlined in the description below. Hint, hint. Did I miss anything? Let me know about it in the comments. I hope this was helpful. I'll be seeing you online.